It is illegal in Louisiana to dig into the ground for almost any reason without first contacting the proper authorities to make sure you don't cut telephone lines, electrical cables, or gas pipelines. For the last 4 decades, Louisiana One Call has been that authority. For some farmers in Louisiana, contacting Louisiana One Call before they plow a field they've worked for decades might be an afterthought. AJ Sabine shows us just how important it is to call before you dig.
Question: what constitutes digging? Is digging a deep hole or is it plowing a field? For the state's Dig Law Advisory Committee, the definition of digging is movement or removal of the earth. Sounds simple enough. Last week, a committee of the Louisiana Farm Bureau Federation came before the Dig Law Advisory Group to get some clarification on the subject. Currently, when someone calls Louisiana One Call for a utility locate, the markers indicating the underground utility are good for only 10 days. Farmers say that's sometimes not long enough to get their cultivation practices done, particularly when they move from field to field. So farmers, like foresters, would like to have their marks good for 30 days.
We did not know that we were supposed to call as often as we are. The law says if you dig, and we till. And so we think that we need to get some clarification on what digging and tilling is. And I found them very receptive and very open to our concerns, and they seem to be very willing to work with us.
Right now, the law says contractors, farmers, and others must call every 10 days for a new locate. However, the forestry industry, expressing the same concern as farmers, were given 30 days from the mark during last year's regular session of the Louisiana legislature.
The law essentially says that if you have something on your property that's an encroachment of a pipeline or utility, if you have something or you don't know if there's something there, call. If you don't have anything on your property, there is no requirement to call unless there's an encroachment.
During the meeting, members agreed to seek a change in the One Call law that would allow farmers to have the same 30-day notice policy as the forestry industry. That's something Wiggers said would enable farmers to better work their fields given the often unpredictable weather delays associated with production agriculture.
It does help that we don't have to call so often for some of these repeated practices that we do. So a 30-day window as opposed to an 8 to 10-day window is going to be very good for agriculture.
In Baton Rouge, I'm AJ Sabine for This Week in Louisiana Agriculture.
Last week's meeting was informational only. The Louisiana legislature must approve any changes to the state's dig law statute. Now remember, as David Fry said, if you know there's nothing underground, you don't have to call. However, if you're unsure or it's your first time putting a shovel or a plow in the ground, you must call. The number for Louisiana One Call is easy to remember. It's 811. For more information on Louisiana One Call, you can visit our website, twilatv.org.